guys, it's Claireberry here, going on my rant about Weston A. Price, and I want to talk to you guys a little bit just about the myths about oil right now, and protein too. I used to be big on protein. I used to be like, oh, don't even eat like a whole meal of fruit. Like, you're gonna get so hungry later. You're gonna need that protein. Like, gotta have that protein. Everybody's like so protein obsessed, and especially being active and everything and wanting growing boys. Like I was really concerned because everybody says you should be, right? Well, and also the thing about fat, everybody says, oh, well, I need some good meat and some good fat to like stick to my ribs or else I'm gonna be hungry all day. And I've noticed that like if you actually try a raw food diet, you will see that like you're not necessarily going to be hungry all day. A lot of it has to do with other issues, like say blood sugars for one. Now that I eat more of a raw diet and I eat a lot of fruit, I notice that my blood sugar level stays the same. I can go to the store, I can get, go a few hours and, I may be feeling like I could eat, but I'm not feeling like, oh my God, I'm gonna go crazy, like if I don't get some food on me right now, because my blood sugar is the same and I don't get cranky at the store. I don't, flip out on my kids because I'm so hungry and worn out by the end of a big grocery shopping, trip that and that's what it is. I can feel it because I felt the initial sugar high when I started eating a high quantity of fruit. And then I'm like, okay, well, I totally got used to this. And I don't feel like a sugar high per se. There's no crash. I just have this higher level of energy. And you can feel it. I can feel that it's sugars. So, satiety. Is that how you say that? Satiety? Satiety? I don't know. You know what I'm talking about. Being satiated, okay? Everybody thinks it has to do with oil, but if you actually look, they have a thing now, about a satiety score. And the food with the greatest satiety score of 323 is, guess what? The white potato. Yes, potato. Low fat, low protein. How in the world does this food have a better satiety score than oil, fat, protein, even nuts? It's crazy. Everything is a lie, people. It's come from somewhere. So we don't need 30% of our calories from fat. We only need about 10. This is the amount. Whoa, what do you know? It's already present in natural whole foods, vegetarian foods, okay? Oh, excuse me, getting tired. So yeah, getting fat, the number one cause, of getting fat is fat. People think that, oh, carbs make you fat and all this stuff. Sorry, it's just not true. Any excess calories from protein, all fats, which are 9 calories per gram, are readily and easily stored as fat, whereas any excess calories from protein or carbs, which there are 4 per gram, are burned as heat. The fat you eat is the fat you wear when it comes to animal products: oil, seeds, coconut, or avocado. So here's the deal. Oil is not a health food. People think oil is a health food because they did studies, and they just happened to do studies on oil, in the Mediterranean diet, and it was better. And so that's why everybody thinks like olive oil is this great health food, like pour it on there, like it's a health food, They said it was, right? So it's got to be true, right? Right? Well, guess what? It does nothing to lower cholesterol. It does nothing by itself. Oil used in place of things like butter and eggs will drop your cholesterol, okay? But not eating butter and eggs will make your everything get healthier, and your cholesterol will go down much faster if you don't replace it with olive oil. Just because olive oil is a little bit better doesn't mean it's the best. And I think that's one of the large things that Weston A. Price Foundation does. They're like, oh, look, this is better than that. this is better than standard American, so it's got to be the best. It's the best diet ever, you know, like, no, it's not. Why don't you try comparing that to my, you know, raw vegan diet, and then we can talk, you know. And so the same thing with oil. Well, that's how oil now is. Just everybody's like downing this oil with no even clue what a percentage of their diet. And I've talked about this before, and I will say it again. Weston A. Price, all over their website, liberal amounts of meat, dairy, you got to get it in, liberal amounts, whatever. And then at the very, very bottom, at the end of the page, after 30 pages, then you will finally see that, oh, well, yeah, you know, oh, that American, you know, government, they were actually right about something. You shouldn't go over about 40% of calories from, you know, fats, animal proteins. Oh, so now you're telling me I should limit my fats. Good thing you wrote that at the bottom of the page that nobody reads, because they already are like, oh yeah, I agree with this. I agree with this. Oh yeah, cool. We're good. You know, they don't read down to the bottom because they don't need to. So they're not, I guarantee you, if you're not worried about getting too much fat, if you're like, oh yeah, good fat is all good, like saturated fat is good, blah, 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 like you're not going to get that limit. Like, even though they say throughout their website, saturated fat is good, saturated fat is in our bodies, it's necessary, which I'm not even going to argue that. Just them saying that is enough for people just to eat it. And they're not tracking their calories. They're not paying attention to how it really makes them feel. They're not seeing how they feel without it. They're just taking their word for it, and they're just consuming, and they're going, I guarantee you, I've tracked my calories on Chronometer and FitPal for quite some time. Not only my calories, but my nutrients as well. And I'm getting better and better about tracking nutrients. And I'm realizing that just a little handful of nuts can put me over 30% easily. A small handful of nuts. And this is on a vegan diet. So no butter, no milk, no meat of any kind, okay? A handful of nuts can raise my fats up to 30%. And I'm eating a huge number of calories. Let me tell you guys, I've been eating between 3, 4, 5, and 6,000 calories a day for the first week on my raw vegan diet. So if I'm eating 30% of those calories in fat, then you better believe that since you're not tracking your calories or your nutrients, that you're going way over that 40%. So this is just another way that Weston A. Price is fooling you. And that's especially if you're taking, I mean, people are eating milk, eggs, meat, more meat on top of their other meat, and then they're going ahead and having a couple tablespoons of like oil and, you know, cod liver oil, and they're getting some coconut oil. It's health food, right? Let's just consume. Oh, you forgot about that little 40% that, you know, they so conveniently just blew off. Oh, they don't know what they're talking about. That's mainstream stuff. Well, even your Weston A. Price people say 40%. It's a magic number. It's proven. And that's a high. That's the high side of it. 30's still way high. And I can feel myself get really sluggish. All of my body systems get really sluggish now that I've been a couple days without it. It takes that long for you to realize how bad it is for your body. Just a couple of days. So I say, just try it. So stop eating coconut oil out of the jar. It's not healthy. The so-called claims that they're making on coconut oil are all just out of the blue. There's nothing to it. It's sales gimmick, people, and they're